This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, students. Last class, I explained the Newton's second law equation applicable to hydraulic jump. So last class we discussed the Newton's second law of motion, that is the rate of change of linear momentum is equal to the resultant of all forces. We applied that Newton's second law for hydraulic jump, and from that Newton's second law we got this equation. For the hydraulic jump from Newton's second law, we got this equation: q square by ZA2 plus A2 Z2 bar is equal to q square by ZA1 plus A1 Z1 bar. And in this equation, q square by ZA is the inertia force acting on the water flow in the hydraulic jump per unit weight of water. So check that equation 3. In that equation 3, q square by ZA is the inertia force acting on the water flow in the hydraulic jump per unit weight of water. And the second term, AZ bar. This AZ bar is the hydrostatic force acting on the water flow in the hydraulic jump per unit weight of water. So in this equation 3, q square by ZA is the force per unit weight of water. AZ bar is also force per unit weight of water, and this summation q square by ZA plus AZ bar is known as the specific force. Already we discussed q square by ZA plus AZ bar is called the specific force of water flow in hydraulic jump. So in that equation 4, q square by ZA plus AZ bar is called the specific force of water flow in the hydraulic jump. So here we represent the specific force as F. F is equal to q square by ZA plus AZ bar. Then from this equation 5 and equation 3, you will get the relationship as F1 is equal to F2. So in this equation 3, from this equation 3 and equation 5, we will get this is q square by ZA2 plus A2 Z2 bar F2, and the right hand side q square by ZA1 plus A1 Z1 bar F1. So from equation 3, you will get the result as F2 is equal to F1. F2 is the specific force of water flow in the hydraulic jump at section 2, that is after the hydraulic jump. And in the equation 3, the right hand side q square by ZA1 plus A1 Z1 bar is F1. F1 is the specific force of hydraulic jump. The specific force of hydraulic jump, that is before the hydraulic jump at section 1. So from equation 3 and equation 5, you will get the result as F1 is equal to F2. F1 is the specific force at section 1 before the hydraulic jump. F2 is the specific force at section 2 after the hydraulic jump. So in the hydraulic jump, the specific force at section 1, F1 is equal to the specific force at section 2, F2. Now check that equation 5. According to equation 5, the specific force F is equal to q square by ZA plus AZ bar. In this first term, on the right hand side, in the first term, this wetted area A is a function of depth of flow y. In the rectangular channel, A is equal to By. In the trapezoidal channel, A is equal to B plus Zy into Y. So like that, in every channel, open channel, the wetted area A is a function of depth of flow y. And in the second term, A is the wetted area, function of depth of flow y. Z bar is the distance of the centroid. It is also the function of depth of flow y. So from equation 5, it is clear that the specific force of water flow in the hydraulic jump. So please listen this carefully. From equation 5, it is clear that the specific force of water flow in the hydraulic jump is a function of the depth of flow y. Since from equation 5, we can understand that the specific force F of water flow in the hydraulic jump is a function of depth of flow y, we can represent this equation 5 in the graphical form. So check this equation 5, everyone. From equation 5, we can understand the specific force of water flow in hydraulic jump is a function of depth of flow y. Since the specific force is a function of depth of flow y, you can prepare the graph by using this equation 5. In that graph, the depth of flow y is taken on y-axis, the specific force F is taken on x-axis. So this equation 5 can be represented graphically by considering the depth of flow y on y-axis and the specific force F on x-axis. Please remember, equation 5 is for hydraulic jump. So in the hydraulic jump from equation 5, we can prepare a graph by taking the depth of flow y on y-axis, the specific force F on x-axis, that is this graphical form. Check this graph. This is the graph obtained from equation 5. Specific force F is equal to q square by ZA plus AZ bar. From that equation 5, we obtained this graph. In this graph, the depth of water flow in the hydraulic jump is taken on y-axis. The specific force of water flow in the hydraulic jump is taken on x-axis. So this is from equation 5. This curve is called specific force curve. This is parabola. We call this curve as the specific force curve. We got this curve from equation 5. F is equal to q square by ZA plus AZ bar. From that equation 5, we got this curve. This is called the specific force curve. Check this specific force curve. It has two limbs, upper limb and lower limb. The lower limb is approaching the x-axis. So this lower limb is asymptotic to the x-axis or the specific force line. And check this specific force curve. The specific force curve, from the specific force curve, we can observe this. When the depth of flow decreases, the specific force also decreases. The specific force becomes minimum at one particular depth. So at this depth, the specific force is minimum. So this depth, the point C, check that point C. At point C, the specific force is minimum. So the depth of water flow at minimum specific force is called the critical depth. The depth of water flow in the hydraulic jump at which the specific force is minimum is called the critical depth. And in this hydraulic jump, we consider two depth of flow. One is at section 1. At section 1, the depth of flow is y1. The section 1 is before the hydraulic jump. Then the section 2 after the hydraulic jump. At section 2, the depth of flow is y2. So we consider these two depth of water flow in this hydraulic jump. One is before the hydraulic jump, y1, initial depth. Then the second one is after the hydraulic jump, y2, sequent depth. So in this hydraulic jump, the first one is y1 depth before the hydraulic jump, supercritical condition. The second one is at section 2 after the hydraulic jump, the depth of flow y2, subcritical condition. We know that at point C, the depth of flow is critical depth yc. Check this depth of flow y2. The depth of flow y2 is more than the critical depth yc. Since the depth of flow y2 more than the critical depth yc, we call this depth of flow y2 as subcritical condition. Check this depth of flow. The depth of flow y1 is less than the critical depth yc. So this depth of flow y1, this is the depth of flow y1. it is less than the critical depth yc. We know that when the depth of flow less than the critical depth, it is the supercritical condition. So at section 1, before the hydraulic jump, the water flow is in supercritical condition. At section 2, after the hydraulic jump, the water flow is in subcritical condition, y2 depth. But we know that in this hydraulic jump, the specific force at section 1, that is at depth y1, the specific force at section 1, F1 at depth y1 is equal to the specific force at depth at section 2, F2, that is at depth y2. Just now I explained, in this hydraulic jump, the specific force F1 is equal to F2. F1 is the specific force at section 1 when the depth of flow is y1. F2 is the specific force at section 2 when the depth of flow is y2. At both sections, the hydraulic jump has same specific force. F1 is equal to F2, that you can check here. So at depth y2, this is the depth y2. At depth y2, this is the specific force F2. So from origin up to this point, F2 is the specific force that is at a depth of y2. So just a minute, please. Please give me the response. Can you see this picture on the cell? Can you see this picture on the cell phones? Please give me the response. Dear students, please give me the response. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please go through that picture carefully. That picture indicates the specific force in the hydraulic jump. We are going to discuss the nature of specific force in the hydraulic jump. From equation 5, we can understand the specific force depends on depth of flow y. Wetted area A depends on depth of flow y. Z bar also depends on depth of flow y. So from equation 5, we can understand the specific force depends on depth of flow y in hydraulic jump. So we consider the specific force on x-axis, the depth of flow y on y-axis, and from equation 5, we got this graph. This is the graph we obtained from equation 5, the specific force curve. In this specific force curve, the specific force becomes minimum. This is the minimum value. The specific force is minimum at one particular depth known as the critical depth yc. You know that before the hydraulic jump, depth of flow is y1. y1 is less than yc, supercritical condition. After the hydraulic jump, depth of flow y2. y2 is more than the critical depth yc. So after the hydraulic jump, the condition is subcritical condition. But at depth of flow y2 and also depth of flow y1, we have the same specific force. So at depth y2, this is the specific force. After the hydraulic jump, this is the specific force F2. So this is the specific force F2 at depth y2. And at depth y1, this is the depth y1. At depth y1, this is the specific force F1. So check this diagram. At depth y2 and also at depth y1, at both depths, at depth y2 and also at depth y1, we have the same value of the specific force in the hydraulic jump. These two depths y2 and y1, having the same specific force F1, F2 are known as the conjugate depths. In this hydraulic jump, the two depths y2 and y1 having the same specific force are known as the conjugate depth. Now coming to this specific energy curve, we know that in unit 1 I explained this specific energy curve. The specific energy E is equal to y plus v square by 2z. Otherwise, E is equal to y plus q square by 2z a square. And by using that equation, E is equal to y plus q square by 2z a square, by taking the specific energy on x-axis, depth of flow y on y-axis, you will get this graph. This is called specific energy curve. The equation of this energy curve, specific energy curve, is E is equal to y plus q square by 2z a square. Now observe this specific energy curve for this hydraulic jump. Before the hydraulic jump, the depth is y1. At depth y1, check out the specific energy. At depth y1, E1 is the specific energy. So this is the specific energy from origin up to this point E1. This is the specific energy in the hydraulic jump at section 1 before the hydraulic jump E1. After the hydraulic jump, depth of flow is y2. This is the depth of flow y2. At depth of flow y2, from this energy curve, this is the specific energy E2. So this is the specific energy E2 at section 2 after the hydraulic jump. Whereas at depth y1, this is the specific energy E1. So check this diagram carefully. At section 1, E1 is the specific energy. At section 2, E2 is the specific energy. So before the hydraulic jump, the specific energy is E1. After the hydraulic jump, the specific energy is E2. So check these two values. The specific energy E1 is greater than the specific energy E2. So this diagram indicates in the hydraulic jump, before the hydraulic jump, the water has more specific energy E1. After the hydraulic jump, the water has less specific energy E2. So in this diagram, the specific energy before the hydraulic jump is E1. This is the specific energy. Y plus q square by 2z a square. At depth y1, before the hydraulic jump, the specific energy is E1. After the hydraulic jump at section 2, after the hydraulic jump, this is the specific energy E2. Check these two values, E1 greater than E2. This diagram indicates before the hydraulic jump, the water flow has more specific energy. After the hydraulic jump, the water has less specific energy. That indicates during this hydraulic jump formation, because of the turbulence, because of the rotational flow, in this hydraulic jump, there is a loss in the specific energy, delta E. This delta E is the loss of specific energy of water flow in the hydraulic jump. Before the hydraulic jump, the water has specific energy E1. After the hydraulic jump, the water has specific energy E2. E1 greater than E2. So in this hydraulic jump, the water has the loss in the specific energy, that is delta E. Delta E is equal to E1 minus E2. So when the hydraulic jump is formed in the open channel, when the hydraulic jump formed in the open channel, there is a loss in the energy of water flow before the hydraulic jump to after the hydraulic jump. So this is the theory in this concept of hydraulic jump. So I explained the reason for hydraulic jump in this unit 2. When the supercritical condition changes to subcritical condition, there is a formation of hydraulic jump. Then we discussed the Newton's second law for this hydraulic jump. By using that specific force in hydraulic jump, F is equal to the equation of the specific force, F is equal to q square by ZA plus AZ bar. We discussed this graph, specific force graph. This graph in this diagram is according to this equation. The specific force F is equal to Q square by ZA plus AZ bar. This is called the specific force curve. At a depth y1, at a depth y2, we have the same value of the specific force. Y1, y2 are called the conjugative depths. Coming to the specific energy, before the hydraulic jump at a depth y1, the water flow has higher specific energy because of this supercritical condition. After the hydraulic jump at a depth y2, the water flow has less specific energy E2. So in this hydraulic jump, there is a loss in the specific energy of water flow due to turbulence, due to rotational flow. So this difference E1 minus E2. Before the hydraulic jump, specific energy is E1. After the hydraulic jump, specific energy is E2. E1 minus E2 is called the loss in the specific energy delta E. So this is the theory in this hydraulic jump. Next, we are going to discuss what is the expressions. What are the expressions for hydraulic jump when the open channel is a rectangular channel? When the open channel is a rectangular channel, what are the equations of hydraulic jump? So in this discussion, before the hydraulic jump, depth of flow is y1. After the hydraulic jump, depth of flow is y2. y1 is called initial depth. y2 is called sequent depth. y1, y2 combined together is known as conjugative depths. So please follow these terms carefully. In the hydraulic jump, y1 is called initial depth. y2 is called sequent depth after the hydraulic jump. y1, y2 together are known as sequent depths. Now we are going to discuss if the open channel is a rectangular channel, the river. If the river is a rectangular shape, and if the hydraulic jump formed in that river, what is the relation between the depth y1 and depth y2? That is at the bottom of the spillway or at the bottom of the sluice gate. The sluice gates are also there in the canals, that is man-made canals. So in that sluice gate, we know that when the water is released from the bottom of the sluice gate, the water will have hydraulic jump. When water is released from the bottom of the sluice gate, that water flow will have hydraulic jump. And when the dam releases the water at the bottom of the spillway, we have this hydraulic jump. Now, if the channel is a rectangular channel, either the river or the man-made channel, and if the hydraulic jump formed in that rectangular open channel, what is the relation between the depth y1 and depth y2? So we are going to discuss the hydraulic jump in rectangular channel. Now coming to this discussion, the hydraulic jump in rectangular channels. So check this diagram. I consider the hydraulic jump formed in the rectangular channel. This may be a river or an artificial channel, man-made channel. So check this diagram. Please everyone check this diagram. I am going to discuss with you the hydraulic jump in the rectangular channels. This rectangular channel may be a natural channel like a river. This may be a artificial channel like man-made channel. So if the hydraulic jump formed in that rectangular channel, what is the relation between the depth y1 and depth y2? We are going to discuss that under this hydraulic jump in rectangular channel. So check this diagram please. So here we consider this rectangular channel. This may be a river or an artificial channel. Check the bottom width. The rectangle bottom width is B. That is section 1 and also at section 2. The channel is having the bottom width B. Then this rectangle channel is having the hydraulic jump. That is at the bottom of the spillway or at the bottom of the sluice gate, the rectangular channel is having this hydraulic jump. Before the hydraulic jump, the depth of flow is y1, supercritical condition. After the hydraulic jump, the depth of flow is y2, subcritical condition. y1 is called initial depth, y2 is called the sequent depth. y1, y2 are having the same specific force, F1 is equal to F2. So y1, y2 are called the conjugative depths. Now we are going to study this hydraulic jump formed in the rectangular channel. So before the hydraulic jump, section 1, this is the section 1 before the hydraulic jump in the rectangular channel. After the hydraulic jump, section 2 in the rectangular channel, and this is the water flow in the hydraulic jump. Channel bottom, the channel bottom. We discussed this diagram number of times. This is the Newton's second law diagram. So section 1, depth of flow is y1, velocity of flow is v1. Before the hydraulic jump, this is the hydrostatic pressure distribution at section 1. F1 is the hydrostatic force at section 1. Then at section 2, depth of flow is y2, velocity of flow is v2. This is the hydrostatic pressure distribution at section 2. F2 is the hydrostatic force at section 2. That Q is the discharge of flow from section 1 to section 2. The weight of water is W. Resolve that weight into component in the direction of flow. That component is W sin theta. And at the channel bottom, we have the friction force. Since it is a rectangular channel at section 1, the width of the rectangular channel is B. The depth of water flow is y1. Then from this top surface, the center of gravity at section 1 is at a distance of Z1 bar. Since it is rectangle, Z1 bar is equal to half of the depth y1 by 2. So this is the channel section at section 1. At section 1, the rectangular channel having the width B, depth of flow y1. Since it is rectangle, from this top, the centroid is at half of the depth. So Z1 bar is equal to y1 by 2. Coming to the section 2. At section 2 also the channel is rectangle. Bottom width is B. But at section 2, depth of flow is y2. Since it is rectangle, from this top, the distance of the center of gravity is half of the depth. So Z2 bar is equal to y2 by 2. We know that from Newton's second law. In this diagram, from Newton's second law, you will get the relation as the specific force at section 1 is equal to specific force at section 2. Just now we discussed in this hydraulic jump. In the hydraulic jump from Newton's law, you will get the relation as the specific force at section 1 is equal to the specific force at section 2. At section 1, the specific force is Q square divided by GA1 into Z1 bar. This is the specific force in section 1, Q square by GA1 plus A1 Z1 bar. At section 2, the specific force is Q square by GA2 plus A2 Z2 bar. So we discussed this in the today's class also. At section 1, the specific force is Q square by GA1 plus A1 Z1 bar. At section 2, the specific force is Q square by GA2 plus A2 Z2 bar. What you have to check this in the diagram is at section 1, A1 is equal to B into Y1. So that is important because it is rectangle. At section 1, the wetted area A1 is equal to B into Y1. At section 1, Z1 bar is equal to Y1 by 2. That is important. Whereas at section 2, A2 is equal to B2 into Y2. At section 2, Z2 bar is equal to Y2 by 2. So in this equation, this is the specific force equation for the hydraulic jump from Newton's second law. F1 is equal to F2. F1 is the specific force of the water flow before the hydraulic jump. F2 is the specific force of water flow after the hydraulic jump. From Newton's second law, we get F1 is equal to F2. F1 Q square by ZA1 plus A1 Z1 bar. F2 Q square by ZA2 plus A2 Z2 bar. Since we consider the rectangular channel, in this rectangular channel, A1 is equal to By1, Z1 bar is equal to Y1 by 2, and at section 2, A2 is equal to By2, Z2 bar is equal to Y2 by 2. Substitute them in this equation 1. Then the equation 1 changes as, we know that the depth Y1 by 2 are called as the conjugative depths. Then at section 1, A1 is equal to B into Y1 because it is rectangle. Z1 bar is equal to Y1 by 2. At section 2, A2 is equal to B into Y2. Z2 bar is equal to Y2 by 2. Consider Q, small q, is the discharge per unit width of channel. We discussed a number of times this small q in open channels. Small q is equal to the discharge of water flow in the open channel per unit width, that is equal to Q by B. So in the equation 1, substitute A1 B into Y1, Z1 bar Y1 by 2, A2 B into Y2, Z2 bar Y2 by 2, and the equation 1 changes as, this is the equation 1. What is the equation 1? The specific force at section 1 is equal to specific force at section 2. Q square by ZA1. In this rectangle channel, A1 is equal to B into Y1 plus A1 Z1 bar, A1 B into Y1, Z1 bar Y1 by 2. So this is the specific force F1 at section 1 in the rectangular channel. Q square by ZA1 plus A1 Z1 bar. A1 is equal to B into Y1. Z1 bar is equal to Y1 by 2. That is equal to the specific force in section 2. What is the specific force in section 2? Q square by ZA2 plus A2 Z2 bar. A2 is B into Y2. Z2 bar is Y2 by 2. So the equation 1 for the rectangular channel is given by this form. Q square by Z into By1 plus B1 Y1 Y1 by 2 is equal to Q square by Z B by 2 plus B by 2 into Y2 by 2. Just to simplify this equation. Simplify this equation by bringing the discharge Q square by the discharge terms in one side, remaining terms on the other side. So Q square by Z B by 1 minus, bring this term to the left side, minus Q square by Z B by 2 is equal to B by 2 into Y2 by 2, bring this term to the right side, minus B by 1 by 2. From this equation, we got this equation. Bring this discharge terms in one side, remaining terms to the other side. So Q square by Z B by 1 minus Q square by Z B by 2 is equal to B by 2 into Y2 by 2 minus B by 1 into Y1 by 2. Simplify this equation. Take this Q square by Z common. Q square by ZB. On the two terms, take this Q square by ZB common. So it is Q square by ZB into 1 by Y1 minus 1 by Y2. This is the simplification from this equation. So in this equation, we have Q square by ZB in two terms. So bring that Q square by, take that Q square by ZB common. So this equation, right, left side becomes as Q square by ZB into 1 by Y1 minus 1 by Y2 is equal to, on this right side, take this B by 2 common. Take this B by 2 in the two terms common. So this right side becomes as B by 2 into Y2 square minus Y1 square. So from this equation, we got this equation, another equation, Q square by ZB into 1 by Y1 minus 1 by Y2 is equal to B by 2 into Y2 square minus Y1 square. Then simplify this equation. Simplify this equation, please. So same as it is, Q square by ZB 1 by Y1 minus 1 by Y2 is equal to B by 2 into Y2 square minus Y1 square. Then bring that right hand side B. So here we have this B in the right hand side. Bring that to the left side. So bring this B on the right side to the left side. Then this equation becomes as q square by z into b square. So bring that right hand side B. This is in the numerator. If it comes to left hand side, it is in the denominator. So b into b is b square. So q square by z b square. That is the next equation. Q square by z b square into 1 by y1 minus 1 by y2 is equal to half into y2 square minus y1 square. So just modify the previous equation. Bring this b to the left side. So this equation, after this modification, bring this b to the left side. That equation becomes as q square by zb square into 1 by y1 minus 1 by y2 is equal to half into y2 square minus y1 square. And on the left side, take this y1 by 2 as LCM. On the left hand side, take this y1 by 2 as LCM. Then this left hand side becomes as, we know that small q by capital Q by B. Capital Q by B is small q. Capital Q is the total discharge. B is the total width. Capital Q by B is the discharge per unit width, small q. So q square by b square is small q square divided by z into, take this y1 by 2 LCM. So this term becomes as y2 minus y1 by y1 by 2. Take this y1 by 2 common as LCM in this term. If I take y1 by 2 as LCM, this equation becomes as y2 minus y1 by y1 by 2 is equal to half into, this is a square minus b square form, y2 square minus y1 square, a square minus b square form. You know that a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. So this term y2 square minus y1 square is equal to y2 plus y1 into y2 minus y1. So just to modify this equation, please. Capital Q square by capital B square is small q square. Discharge per unit width. Small q square by z into, take the y1 by 2 common here, LCM. If I take y1 by 2 as LCM in the denominator, the numerator becomes as y2 minus y1. Then half into, this is a square minus b square form, that is a plus b into a minus b. So cancel this y2 minus y1 on both sides. Cancel this y2 minus y1 on both sides. Then this equation becomes as q square by z into 1 by y2 y1. This is there. We cancel only this numerator, y2 minus y1 on both sides. So this left hand side is q square by z into 1 by y2 minus y1 is equal to half into y2 plus y1. Bring this y2 y1 to the right side. Bring this y2 y1 to the right side and this 2 to the left side. Take this 2 to the left side and bring this y1 y2 to the right side. This equation becomes as 2q square by z, because I bring this 2 to the left side. 2q square by z is equal to, bring this to the right side, y1 y2 into y2 plus y1. Then expand this right hand side. Expand this right hand side. So you will get q square by 2z is equal to y1 into y2 square plus y2 into y1 square. So in the rectangular channel, if the hydraulic jump formed in the rectangular channel from Newton's second law, you will get F1 is equal to F2. The specific force at section 1 is equal to specific force at section 2. In the specific force equation, A is equal to A1 is equal to V1 B into Y1, A2 is equal to B into Y2, Z1 bar is equal to Y1 by 2, Z2 bar is equal to Y2 by 2. By substituting them in that specific force equation, you got this equation 2. So in the rectangular channel in hydraulic jump, 2q square by z is equal to y1 into y2 square plus y2 into y1 square. Up to this equation 2. If anybody is having doubts, you please ask me. Up to that equation 2. If anybody is having doubts in this hydraulic jump, you please discuss with me. Up to this equation 2. Any doubt, students? In that hydraulic jump in the rectangular channel, we know in hydraulic jump at section 1 the specific force is F1. At section 2, the specific force is F2. From Newton's second law, we proved that F1 is equal to F2. F1 is equal to Q square by ZA1 plus A1 Z1 bar. F2 is equal to Q square by ZA2 plus A2 Z2 bar. In the rectangular channel, A1 is equal to B into Y1. A2 is equal to B into Y2. Z1 bar is equal to Y1 by 2. Z2 bar is equal to Y2 by 2. By substituting them in the specific force equation, we got that relation 2, equation 2 for the hydraulic jump in rectangular channel. 2 Q square by Z is equal to Y1 by 2 square plus Y2 by 1 square. Up to that equation 2, if you have doubts, you please discuss with me. Any doubts, students, up to that equation 2? Please give me the response. Please give me the response. Up to that equation 2. Do you have any doubts? Up to that equation 2, if you have any doubts, okay, coming to that equation 2, continue. We will continue from equation 2. Check this equation 2, please everyone. This equation 2 is a quadratic equation because we have y1 square, y2 square. The equation 2 is a quadratic equation, but the importance in equation 2, please listen everyone. The importance in equation 2, the equation 2 is a quadratic equation in the depth y1 because we have y1 square. So please listen everyone. The equation 2 is a quadratic equation in terms of depth y1 because we have y1 square. The same equation 2 is also the quadratic equation in terms of depth y2 because we have y2 square. So please catch that from equation 2. The equation 2 is a quadratic equation like ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. That is called the quadratic equation in x. Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is a quadratic equation in terms of x. Check that equation 2. In that equation 2, we have y1 square. So if I consider this y1 square, take this y2 as a, take this y2 square as b, take this 2q square by z as c. So please listen everyone. Take this y1 square as x square. Take this y1 square as x square. Y2 as a. Take this y2 square as b. Then y1 as x. Take this 2q square by z as c. Then this equation becomes as ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So this equation 2 is a quadratic equation in terms of depth y1. The same equation 2, I consider this y2 square as x square. I consider this y1 as x as a. So check this y2 square as x square, y1 as a, then y1 square as b, y2 as x, 2q square by z as c. Then this equation 2 becomes as, in terms of y2 square, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So this equation 2 is the quadratic equation in terms of depth y1 because we have y1 square. It is also the quadratic equation in terms of depth y2 because we have y2 square. So you can consider equation 2 as either quadratic equation in depth y1 or the quadratic equation depth y2. If I consider y1 as quadratic equation, the equation 4 is a y1 square plus by1 plus c equal to 0. If I consider y2 quadratic equation, it is a y2 square plus b y2 plus c equal to 0. So the equation 2 is a quadratic equation in terms of depth y1 and also depth y2. I hope you remember ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 as the solution. X is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. Apply that formula for the solution of equation 2. For the solution of equation 2, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, then x is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. Apply that solution for equation 2 by considering either y1 as quadratic equation or y2 as quadratic equation. You can consider any one depth as quadratic depth. So that is important here. Please everyone catch this. The equation 2 has y1 square. The equation 2 also has y2 square. Both are there. So you can consider the equation 2 as quadratic equation in terms of y1 and also in terms of y2. If I consider y1 quadratic equation, the equation 2 is a y1 square plus b y1 plus c equal to 0. If I consider y2 quadratic equation, the equation 2 is a y2 square plus b y1 y2 plus c equal to 0. So in either way, either the depth y1 quadratic equation or depth y2 quadratic equation, I can consider that equation 2. You know that for the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, the solution for x is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. So if I take this y1 quadratic equation, then this y1 is equal to b is y2 square, a is y2, c is 2q square by z. So this equation, if I take this y1 square quadratic equation, it is a y1 square plus b y1 plus c equal to 0. A is y2, b is y2 square, c is 2q square by z. Then apply the quadratic solution. X is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. I will get this y1 is equal to like this. I will get the y1 depth equation, quadratic equation in terms of y1. So y1 is equal to minus b, that is minus y2 by 2 plus root of b square, that is y2 by 2 whole square plus 4ac. Actually it is minus 4ac, but here if I bring this 2q square by z to the right hand side, it becomes minus. So the solution for y1, the solution of y1, if I consider equation 2 is a quadratic equation in terms of y1, the solution of y1 is this. y1 is equal to minus y2 by 2 plus root of y2 by 2 whole square plus 2q square by z by 2. You know that the equation 2 also consider the quadratic equation in terms of the depth y2. A y2 square plus b y2 plus c equal to 0. Then the solution of depth y2 is equal to minus y1 by 2 plus root y1 by 2 whole square plus 2q square by z by 1. This is the equation 2 the equation 2 by considering depth y1 quadratic form. This is the equation 2 solution by considering the depth y2 quadratic form. So please catch that carefully. In the rectangular open channel from Newton's second law, we got this equation 2. We got the equation 2 as momentum equation for hydraulic jump in rectangular channel. This equation 2 is the quadratic equation in the depth y1 and also in the depth y2. If I consider the quadratic equation 2 in terms of depth y1, the solution for depth y1 is equation 4. y1 is equal to minus y2 by 2 plus root of y2 by 2 whole square plus 2q square by z y2. By knowing this depth y2, I can calculate the depth y1 from equation 4. Then the equation 2 is also considered as quadratic equation in terms of depth y2 because we have y2 square. If I consider the equation 2 as quadratic equation in terms of this depth y2, the solution of depth y2 is equation 3. y2 is equal to minus y1 by 2 plus root of y1 by 2 whole square plus 2q square by z by 1. So like that, the equation 2 has two solutions. The equation 2 in the rectangular open channel hydraulic jump, the equation 2 has two solutions. One is in terms of the quadratic equation y1 square, in terms of the quadratic equation y2 square. You can consider either the y1 square quadratic equation or y2 square quadratic equation from equation 2. Then this equation 2 has two solutions. One is in terms of quadratic equation y1 square. This is the solution. X is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac. So y1 is equal to minus y2 by 2 plus root of y2 by 2 whole square plus 2q square by z by 2. Then I can consider that equation 2 also as the quadratic equation in y2 square. So in terms of that y2 square quadratic equation, the solution of equation 2 is equation 3. y2 is equal to x is equal to minus b, that form. y2 is equal to minus y1 by 2 plus root of y1 by 2 whole square plus 2q square by z by 1. Then from equation 3, if I bring this y1, take this y1 common on the right hand side, take this y1 common on the right hand side. So if I take this y1 common on the right hand side, so this y2 is equal to y1 there in the first term, there in the second term, and it is in the denominator y1 square. I am taking this y1 square from this root common. So y1 square, bring it to the outside. Root of y1 square is y1, and in the second term, since I am taking that y1 square common, multiply by y1 square divided by y1 square. So this denominator third term becomes as g y1 cube in the third term denominator, because I am taking this y1 square common. So this right hand side, take this y1 common, the right hand side becomes as y2 is equal to y1 into the first term minus 1 by 2 plus root of 1 by 2 whole square. Okay, so take this example clearly. So observe this equation 3 clearly. In this equation 3, on this right hand side, on the right hand side in the equation 3, take y1 by 2 common. So take this y1 by 2 common in the equation 3. Then this equation 3 becomes as, if I take this y1 by 2 common in the right side, the equation 3 becomes as y2 is equal to y1 by 2 into minus 1 plus root of, here we have y1 by 2 whole square. So if it is coming to the outside of the root, it becomes y1 by 2. So it is 1 plus this third term. The third term becomes as 8q square by z y1 cube, because I am taking y1 by 2 whole square common from this root. So this third term becomes as 8q square by z y1 cube. So in this third equation, take this y1 by 2 common. So y2 is equal to y1 by 2 into minus 1 plus root of 1 plus 8q square by z y1 cube Then bring that y1 on the right side to the left side. The equation 3 converts this like this. So first y1 by 2 take it as common in the right side. Then bring that y1 to this left hand side. You will get this equation y2 by y1 is equal to 1 by 2 into minus 1 plus root of 1 plus 8q square by z y1 cube. So from this equation 3, by taking this y1 by 2 common and bringing this y1 to the left side, I got this equation 5. Similarly, from equation 4, take this y2 by 2 common in the right side. So if I take this y2 by 2 common in the right side, this right hand side becomes as y2 by 2 into minus 1 plus root of 1 plus 8q square by z y2 cube. Then take that y2 to the left hand side. The equation 4 becomes as y1 by y2 is equal to half into minus 1 plus root of 1 plus 8q square by z y2 cube. So from equation 3, we got this equation 5. From equation 4, we got this equation 6. You know that, please look at this. You know that from specific energy in rectangular channel, unit 1 we discuss. In unit 1, we discuss the specific energy in rectangular channel. In that, I explained in the rectangular channel, q square by z. Q is the discharge per unit width. Q square by z is equal to yc cube. So, in the rectangular channel, the specific energy concept, we discuss this relation. In the rectangular channel, the specific energy concept, critical depth of rectangular channel, you know that q square by z in the rectangular channel is equal to yc cube, cube of the critical depth. Substitute that q square by z as yc cube in the equation 5 and 6 in this right hand side. This equation 5 and 6 becomes as, so this is the critical depth in rectangular channel. Q square by z is equal to yc cube. So the equation 5 and 6, by changing this q square by z as yc cube, the equation 5 and 6 changes as y2 by y1 is equal to half into minus 1 plus root of 1 plus 8 yc by y1 whole cube, because here we have y1 cube in the denominator here, and q square by z is yc cube. So this third term becomes as 8 into yc by y1 whole cube. Similarly, the equation 6, here we have equation 6. The equation 6 is q square by z. This is yc cube into y2 whole cube. That becomes as yc by y2 whole cube. So the equation 5 and 6, by replacing q square by z is equal to yc cube, those equation 5 and 6 becomes as y2 by y1 is equal to half into minus 1 plus root of 1 plus 8 yc by y1 whole cube. That is equation 5. And equation 6 becomes as y1 by y2 is equal to half into minus 1 plus root of 1 plus 8 into yc by y2 whole cube. So this is the hydraulic jump in the rectangular channel. y2 is the depth of flow after the hydraulic jump. y1 is the depth of flow before the hydraulic jump. And in the rectangular channel hydraulic jump, between the depth y1, depth y2, this is the relationships. So the equation 7, equation 8 gives the relationship between the depth y1 before the hydraulic jump, the depth y2 after the hydraulic jump, and the critical depth yc in the hydraulic jump in rectangular channel. Coming to the further simplification of equation 7 and 8. I discussed this Froude's number in the open channel flow. We know that in open channel flow, the Froude number Fr is equal to small q divided by root g into y. That is the equation of Froude number in the open channel flow. Actually, the Froude number F is equal to v divided by z into d. V is the mean velocity of flow, g is the acceleration due to gravity, d is the hydraulic depth. V divided by root gd is the Froude number Fr. That is also equal to the Froude number Fr equal to small q divided by root g into y in the rectangular channel. That small q is the discharge per unit width. So that is the equation of Froude number in the rectangular open channel. At section 1, depth of flow is y1. At section 1, depth of flow is y1. So the Froude number at section 1, FR1 is equal to Q divided by root G into y1 cube. At section 2, the Froude number Q divided by root G into y2 cube. So by replacing the equation 5 and 6, we know that in the equation 5 and 6, we have this Q square by Z into y1 cube. So Q square by Z into y1 cube is FR1 square, Froude number at section 1 square, because FR1 is equal to Froude number FR1 is equal to Q divided by root G into y1 cube. So here we have Q square by Z into y1 cube, that is equal to FR1 square. Similarly, in the equation 6, we have Q square by Z into y2 cube, that is FR2 square. So in terms of the Froude's numbers, this equation 5 and 6 changes like this. In terms of the Froude number, the equation 5 becomes as y2 by y1 is equal to 1 by 2 into minus half minus 1 plus root of 1 plus 8 into FR1 square. FR1 is the Froude number at section 1. Similarly, the equation 6 becomes as y1 by y2 is equal to half into minus 1 plus root of 1 plus 8 into FR2 square. FR2 is the Froude number at section 2. So this is the relationship between the depth of flow y1 y2 in the rectangular open channel hydraulic jump. With this, I am going to stop the today's class. Today I will provide you the material on hydraulic jump, study material. Please go through that material, study material, read that material, understand this hydraulic jump in rectangular channel. Just the modifications. We are doing the modifications in that specific force equation. F1 is equal to F2. Then we got the equation 2, the quadratic equation, Q square by G is equal to y1 y2 square plus y2 y1 square. You can take that equation 2 as quadratic equation either in terms of y1 and also quadratic equation in terms of y2. So you will get equation 3 and 4. Then in that equation 3 and 4, take y1 by 2 common in equation 3 on the right side. Take y2 by 2 common in right side on equation 4. You will get 5 and 6. Then substitute yc cube is equal to Q square by Z. Then you will get 7 and 8. And the Froude number Q by root GY1 is Froude number FR1 at section 1. And Froude number at section 2, FR2 G by root Q by root GY2, you will get the equation 9 and 10. So just the modifications in the equation 2. So this is the hydraulic jump in the rectangular channel. With this, I am going to stop the today's class. Tomorrow also I will revise this hydraulic jump in rectangular channel and we will discuss further concepts in hydraulic jump. With this, I am going to stop the today's class. We will continue this discussion in tomorrow class. Dear students, you can please move from the class and join the next class.